Hello, my beautiful money makers. Scotty Taylor Jr. here. Welcome back to another episode of the Success Money Mindset podcast. I am super excited to have you here. I'm also doing a video for this episode because why not? I feel like I look cute today. So here we are on video. And today's topic is super freaking exciting because we are going to be talking about passive income. And passive income is such a hot topic nowadays. And I really wanted to break down a couple things for all of you on today's episode. First, I want to talk about what exactly is passive income, because I think there is a misconception about passive income. And then I want to talk through different types of passive income, and I'll share with you some of my passive income streams. And then I want to talk to you about how to actually get some passive income yourself. And this is going to be a really interesting episode. It's such a great, exciting topic. I love passive income. I love talking about it. I love having passive income. I love all of it. It's just super exciting. And if you're somebody who is, craving more financial freedom, this is a path for you. If you're craving financial freedom, if you're like, damn, I show up every single week, I get my paycheck, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're like, I'm working every single week and I'm showing up and I have my client meetings and I'm just getting tired of this. This is exhausting. I want to be able to stop working at some point in time, or I want to take some time off so I can do some fun stuff. This is going to be the episode for you, right? Passive income is a really good idea for you. So let's just dig right in. So what is passive income? First, I want to describe passive income for anybody that is either not super familiar with it, or if you are familiar with it, give you a different perspective on what passive income is. So at its core, passive income is essentially receiving income and not working physically or energetically or emotionally. You're not putting any time or energy. So it's receiving money in without actually having to put any effort out. And so this is an important distinction, because there's a difference between passive income and active income. Active income is like if you had a job, a 9-to-5 job, and you showed up every day to your work, and then you got paid your salary, you got paid your paycheck. That's considered active income. If you are a coach, if you are a some type of entrepreneur, like a service-based entrepreneur, or if you are in sales, like for a product, then any one-on-one client interactions, all of that would be considered active income, right? So if you see a client and then you charge them, like if you're a therapist, that's active income. And if you are a coach and you see a one-on-one client, or you see a mastermind, you run a mastermind, all of that would be considered active income. And if you sell a product, right, if you sell a tangible good, when you're selling that tangible good, that would be active income as well. Although that starts to blend into passive income if people are buying it without you putting any time or energy. So first, let's make a distinction between active income and passive income. And before I kind of dig deep into passive income and how to get some and all that good stuff, I want you to do an exercise first. And this is extremely important. So I want you to really pay attention to this and actually implement this. Take out your notebook. If you're listening to this in the car, make a note of where you are and write this down later. Why do you want passive income? What will passive income do for you, right? I want you to ask yourself, what's the desire? Why do I want passive income? And a lot of times when you start to sit and think with that, passive income isn't about sitting on the beach and just drinking Mai Tais every single day, right? I think about my business and I think about my journey in developing passive income. And a lot of times people have this misconception that when you have passive income, you're just going to sit around and do nothing. And I'll tell you, that's not exciting. There's no passion there. I don't want to sit on the beach and do nothing every single day. I love recording podcast episodes. I love showing up for my one-on-one clients. I love all of that. And so for me, passive income is a support system to alleviate some of the stress and anxiety of having to show up on a daily basis. So it's an alleviation of stress and anxiety, and it's also adding in and building up a feeling of freedom and autonomy. And this is really, really important. It does not matter how much money you make. No amount of money will ever make you feel financially free or feel secure. That's a feeling you have to develop on the inside. You need to identify what that feels like for you, and then the money can come and support you in that manner. This is an extremely important distinction because if you make $1,000 a day from passive income or $10,000 a day from passive income, it's all relative. It's all relative. All the numbers are irrelevant. It just depends on how much you spend and how much you need to live your life. And so if you feel like $1,000 a day, or even like, let's say $5,000 a month would be like totally sufficient for you to feel comfortable and release and feel at ease, then I say, let's aim for $5,000 a month. Right. But I want to make sure that the distinction is not where you get all this, you do all this hard, shitty stuff that you don't want to do so that you have passive income and then you can sit on the beach and do nothing. Like, I want you to be honest with yourself. Like, would that actually bring you passion and excitement? Not would it bring you like contentment in the moment? Yeah, like I want to sit on the beach also. But like, think about doing that every day for like 6 months. Like, would that actually bring you joy? Odds are it's probably no, right? And if you're saying yes, I really want you to just think about that for a little bit. Okay, so now we know the difference and the distinction between passive income versus active income. So passive income is receiving money while not working. Active income is showing up on a daily basis and receiving income to bring it in. So now that we understand kind of what passive income is versus what active income is, how can we start to develop some passive income for you, right? So that's kind of the main question that I want to talk through. Now, going back before I kind of dig into that, going back before that area of the conversation, I want you to think about like, what does your ideal day look like? What does your ideal week look like? What does your ideal life look like, right? How do you envision your life on a day-to-day basis? Because that's the first step in determining what type of passive income stream to generate. So like, what things do you like doing? What things do you enjoy doing? What things bring you excitement? What things bring you joy? What things bring you passion? Like, in what ways do you want to show up on a day-to-day basis, right? So let's now talk about passive income, and let's talk about actually generating some different types of passive income. So the ways that most people think about passive income is, hey, Scotty, I need like $1 million. I can invest it in a real estate property, and then boom, I have passive income. I can get rental income, right? It's like typically what I hear from a lot of people. And I want to clarify that you can generate passive income through two different ways. You can generate passive income through putting in time and energy of your own volition. Like, you can spend time and energy, or you can spend money to generate passive income. So you have two options to generate passive income. You can put in time and energy, or you can spend money and you can get passive income, right? So what exactly does that mean? So passive income does not happen automatically in the blink of an eye. It takes some time and it takes some energy. And energy can be done, and you can spend energy physically and mentally, or you can spend energy in the form of money, okay, right? Because money is energy. So let's talk about if you wanted to use money to generate passive income. I'll start with that one because that one's a little bit more clear. So if you wanted to generate passive income and you wanted to use money, you're like, listen, I work a lot right now. I already have a full-time job. I don't want my job. I don't want to put more on my plate. I don't want to be busier, right? Well, then what I would encourage you to do is to save up. Right. So if you haven't been saving up, then create a saving strategy. And this is outside the purview of this podcast, but create a saving strategy, save up some money, and use that money to invest in an opportunity that will feed you passive income. And the most common ways of doing that would be to buy a real estate property of some kind, right? Whether it's a single family home, a multi-unit apartment complex, you can buy a condo, you can buy a duplex and live in one of them, or rent out the other one. Like, these are lots of ideas. So be writing these down if you're trying to explore different ways. But really, I mean, real estate is a great opportunity. You can buy a gas station, you can buy a mobile home plot of land. Like, some of these are going to be larger investments than others, but you can start small and buy a property in an area that's maybe not super developed yet, like in Orlando, for example, where houses are still $200,000 to $300,000, and you can put 20 to 25% down, and you're really only putting down like, $50,000 or so, which is a lot of money, but it's not millions of dollars, right? And that's doable for a lot of people out there to build up $50,000 and buy an investment property. And now, so I'll talk about my personal investments in passive income, but I want to first finish outlining the difference between money and time and energy, right? So if you were to save up money and you were to buy something, you can buy a real estate property. That's typically where most people will go, where they buy properties or a single family home, some type of property. And my encouragement here, and I want you to write this down, is to do a longer term rental property. That's my typical path to passive income, because it's more stable, it's safer, it's more consistent. And what you want to focus on, and again, big deal here, is you want to have your income coming in, right? So whatever you bring in on a monthly basis from rent, right? Because you're renting it out to people. You want that to be about 75%, or you want the expenses to be 75% of that income. So to put that numerically, if you bring in $1,000 a month from rental income, or that's what the projection is, that's what you're thinking you'll do from this property, you want to spend no more than $750 a month on that property for the mortgage, property taxes, capital expenditures, property management company, all the other expenses. So I'm not a real estate expert or a real estate guru. This is what I've used personally to buy my investment properties, because I own investment properties. And that's been my path to generating some passive income. I have other ways as well, which I'll share with you. But that's one key, right? So if you're thinking to yourself, I want to do something that doesn't require a lot of time or energy on my side, I just want to put money into something, passive income in a real estate property is potentially a great idea for you. The other way to generate passive income through investments, and again, this is like really good stuff, is through investments in the stock market or cryptocurrency or any of those, but I would really kind of stick to the stock market. Now, what does that mean? You're like, wait a minute, that's not passive income, is it? Right? If I'm investing, that's not passive income. Well, I have an investment portfolio, and let's say the investment portfolio grows by $50,000 in a year, $10,000 in a year. I'm not doing any work to make that investment portfolio grow. It's growing on its own. The cool thing about that is the money's growing, but I'm not receiving the income yet. Now, I could receive the income if I wanted to, right? You could take that $50,000 where it grew that year and just take that out of the stock portfolio and use it. But if I don't, then I typically won't pay taxes on it, which is a really nice benefit. And then the balance is higher the next year for it to continue to grow. Now, this is a tool that most people overlook, but this is actually how most people end up retiring, right? They save up a bunch of money in their 401k, and then they pull money from their 401k when they're in retirement. It's essentially passive income, right? And so I use this as a combination strategy. So I invest in a stock portfolio, and that portfolio grows for me every single year. And obviously it goes up and down because the stock market is volatile, but it goes up and down. But most of the time it's growing. And so over time, I've made a lot of money in my investment portfolio, right? So those are the two primary ways where I get passive income from investing. So again, if you're in a situation where you're like, I don't really have a lot of extra free time, I work a pretty intense job as it is, these are great opportunities for you to start dipping your toes in the passive income stream or passive income world. Okay. So that's the money. And I use an investment portfolio, and I also own real estate properties. Not one is better than the other, right? I know real estate kind of gets that sexy, awesome, like so cool vibe, but I would not say that real estate is better than the investment portfolio. They just serve different purposes. I like using both personally. Some people like using one or the other, or a combination of both, right? Now, for me personally, I do own a fourplex. So I own a 4-unit apartment complex. and I bring in about $4,200 a month from rent, right? So there's multiple different tenants in the property, and I bring in about $4,200, and my mortgage is around $2,400, my mortgage and property taxes, right? So I'm netting a pretty solid $1,800 a month or so, somewhere $1,600, $1,800, and then I have to pay my property management company, and then sometimes there's repairs that need to be made, so I don't bring in that amount of money every single month, but I'm cash flow positive from fucking day one. And this is important. Like, I'm not available for a cash flow negative property. I'm just not available for it. So that's what I decided. It's what I found. I purchased it, and it's working perfectly for me. Okay. Now let's talk about, if you're like, okay, Scotty, that's great if I had $50,000 or $20,000 or $100,000, like some people. I don't have anything. I want passive income, but I don't have any money yet, right? So if you're looking to make passive income, but you don't currently have a bunch of savings, or you're like, oh, I'm not really in a place where I can be saving a lot of money, then what I want you to think about is creating something that you can then sell for passive income. And so there's a couple of different options here that we'll talk about, but one option, which is pretty straightforward and pretty easy to digest mentally, is you can create an online course or create an ebook or create a book, and you can sell that product to people, to people. And there are lots of different online courses on teaching different online courses. That's outside the scope of this specific podcast, but there's a lot of opportunities to create a product and sell it. And there is valuable knowledge and experience and insight that you have that you can share with the world. Just as I have learned how to scale my business, I've learned how to generate passive income. I've learned how to invest. I've learned all these really great resources and tools through books and learnings and applying the teachings that I now teach in my signature course, the money course. And all of that, when I receive money coming in from that, that's a blend between passive and active income, right? So if I'm promoting it, then it's active. But if somebody's buying it at night because they saw one of my posts, that's passive income. So it's a little bit of a blend. And now the interesting thing about this type of path to get passive income is that it requires fucking work up front. Like, I think that there's this huge misconception that you could just like get passive income. Like, anything is possible for you. I want to remind you that you can do, you can be, you can have anything you want. And I don't want my experiences to ever hinder you from accomplishing things that you want to accomplish. So if you're listening to this and you're like, no, Scotty, I'm going to get passive income immediately, then fuck yes. Like, I want you to prove me wrong, right? But there is energy that's required up front, whether it's a little bit, whether it's a lot, whether you have all the tools necessary, or whether you figure them out on your own and you Google everything and you spend lots of time and energy. But it will require energy to create passive income in some way, shape, or form, unless your great aunt passes away and just gives you a house. Like, I guess that's possible as well, right? So again, I'm even trying to think of ways of debunking my own myths, but you can't plan for a great aunt passing away. So when you think about creating a product or creating a service and selling it passively, I want you to think about your skill set, your knowledge, your experience, and see if there's a way of monetizing that. If you're thinking to yourself, no fucking way, I got no skills, I got no knowledge, I got nothing, totally fine, right? Then maybe perhaps what you think about is joining some type of like multi-level marketing agency, right? I'm not saying that they're good or bad. I don't personally do any of them. But there's lots of different multi-level marketing companies out there where, they're the ones that kind of get the rep that it's a pyramid scheme. So again, I'm not necessarily promoting it. I'm just giving you the option so you can be informed and do whatever makes you happy. But these are the ones where you can recruit people below you, and every time they sell something, you make money. Right? That's passive income. Another idea is if you love to shop, if you love shopping and you're on Amazon all the time and people are always asking you like, where'd you get that from? Where'd you get that from? Like, oh, where did you buy that from? You can create your own Amazon shop and link all of your products. And when somebody buys something through your link, Amazon will send you a little cut of that. That's pretty awesome, right? And now let's say, and again, I'm just running through these. I'm giving you all the information. Like this is fucking powerful stuff. This is stuff that I give in my paid content. But let's say, for example, you're like, I don't really have a product that I want to create. I don't really have anything. I don't shop, but I do feel like I have influence, right? I do feel like I probably have influence. Like people listen to me, people like me. Maybe you become an affiliate marketer. An affiliate marketer is basically like you sell somebody else's product and receive a commission for it. So if you're somebody who like doesn't want to create something, you don't have a lot of money, but you have a lot of pull, you have a lot of gravitas, then maybe you advertise somebody else's product and you sell it. So for example, my course, the money course, I have affiliates for my course. And there are people that have been in the course, people that have taken the course, people that love the course, that then sell it to their friends and family or their social media audience if it's a good fit for that person, and they'll receive a percentage of the sale. It's a win-win, right? They sell something that they believe in, that they didn't have to do any work to create. They get a big cut of the actual profits, and I make money, and it's passive income at the same way. And the student is served because the student is like, fuck yeah, I need this information. Like this course is amazing, right? So let's recap. Passive income is sexy. Passive income is amazing. Passive income is fun. Step one, if you want to be a passive income enthusiast, you can do it by saving up money, investing in the stock market, or buying real estate. I'll probably do another podcast separately on my own passive income real estate property, and I'll get deeper into the weeds, but that's the first way of generating some passive income. The second way of doing it is you don't have the capital or the finances right now. So you're like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my own energy, my skill set, my knowledge, and I'm going to create something that I can then sell. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to write an ebook. I'm going to create an online PDF. I'm going to sell it for $20. I'm going to sell it for $100. I'm going to sell it for $1,000. Like you can pick whatever you want. And all these options are valid and all of them are possible for you. This is the opportunity for you to start thinking about this. Like, how can you generate some passive income? And now there's more that goes into this. All of this I cover in module 5, which is one of my bonus modules of the money course. So I dig deep into passive income. I dig deep into setting up a side business. I have different tools and different ideas and different tactics. There's more passive income ideas that I share in there. I share more of the specific details of my online course. And I also share 3 extremely important things to keep in mind before you actually start your journey. So if you're interested, you can go to scottytaylorjr.com/money and you can read more about the money course where I do talk about passive income. But if you're just starting off your journey and this is brand new for you, then I want you to take this information. I want you to digest it. I want you to think on it. I want you to think about what's possible. What can I do? What is possible for me? Because I promise you a lot is possible for you. And this podcast, this platform, this is your opportunity to be like, how can this work for me? Not, damn, Scotty can do that because he's blah, 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 blah. How can this work for me? Ask yourself that question, journal it out. How can I get this to work for me, right? Okay, if you have more questions on passive income, I would love to go deeper. Just let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at Scotty Taylor Jr. or shoot me an email and shoot the team an email at assistant@scottytaylorjr.com. Happy to answer any questions. I hope you found this valuable and helpful. I love you. Have an awesome day, my friends, and I'll talk to you soon.